I want to talk through one of the biggest myths I hear about offshoring. So people often ask me, isn't it risky to do business overseas? And the answer to this is it can be really risky, but it can also be really safe. It actually all depends on how you do it. So if you're working with an offshore team member who maybe hasn't done a background check, or maybe you have them working in an uncontrolled environment and you have no visibility over what weird and wonderful software they've decided to install on their computer, then absolutely, I agree, working with them is super risky. But if you work with a business like 5 Elk, you'll find that often you have more protection in place than perhaps even you have with your local team. So as an example, here at 5 Elk, we actually do comprehensive background checks on all team members before they start with us. We have world-class surveillance and password management software on all of our devices. And we use an Amazon web server, so our data is encrypted and stored in Australia. We don't let your team use smartphones, iPads, or USB functionality in the office. And it's compulsory for all of your team to do ongoing cybersecurity training. Now, I'm not saying this as a humble brag. I just want to highlight that not all offshoring options are built equally. And so it's hard to make a blanket statement that offshoring is risky. So making the decision to outsource can be risky or it can be safe. That bit is ultimately up to you. But speaking of risk, have you ever considered the risk of not offshoring? Now, it's hard to find great people these days. And if your team are overworked and stressed out, or it's now easier than ever for them to find a less stressful role elsewhere, this is risky for your business. Or perhaps you're a small business that has grown quickly. Your people are getting stuff done and deliver a great client experience, but nothing is documented or structured properly. This house of cards, it can fall if you lose a good person or your back office just hits breaking point. So this too is a risk. Or if the cost of doing business is increasing for you, like it is for so many, your profit is probably shrinking. Cash flow is king or queen, and letting your costs continually increase, it's also a risk. So overwhelm and burnout, loose processes, and shrinking profit margins, they're all risks to your business. And offshoring will actually help you mitigate these risks. And if you do it the right way, you won't actually be compromising on any safety whatsoever. But delaying this decision may be bringing about unintended risk into your business. So my advice is don't let your inaction put your business at risk.